Man, it's almost the end of the summer. I need a vacation. Now this is more like it. So you know what, for this week's countdown? Let's count down some of the best vacation, island-themed, or beach-themed games on any video game console. What's better than partying, beaches, and of course, babes, right? Normie's Beach Babe-O-Rama for the Sega Genesis gave us just that, along with a very mediocre and pretty poor platformer for the most part, taking us pretty much anywhere but the beach. But you gotta respect a game that literally is called Normie's Beach Babe-O-Rama, and that's why it ends up making this list. How could I do a list like this without including the Dead or Alive Extreme series? Honestly, you could pick 1, 2, or 3 if you're able to get your hands on it, of course. But my favorite always will be the original Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball. Yeah, it had the women, and that was the draw of the game, but honestly, its micro-dating sim-esque elements of collecting items and figuring out which ones each girl liked and getting them to work together was honestly pretty enjoyable, and I ended up getting addicted to it. And it's still a great game to go back to whether it's summer or not. Another Sega vacation style game, Green Dog the Beach Surfer Dude, has you playing as Green Dog, skateboarding, gyrocoptering, and using your deadly frisbee, traveling through Aztec ruins and many other locations to try to remove a curse of a pendant that Green Dog ended up getting stuck wearing. It may not be the best technical platformer out there, but I still very much enjoy putting this game in my Genesis and playing it every now and then. Wave Race 64 is a great game that can brighten up any summer party, or really any party any day of the year. Whether you're racing against the computer or against your friends, whether it be Dolphin Park or Twilight City, this game is still an absolute blast to move in and out of the buoys and trying to finish in first place. The entire Hudson's Adventure Island series is fantastic, and some of the best island games that you'll probably ever play, whether it's the classic NES Adventure Islands or the Super Nintendo Super Adventure Islands. All of them are great. The one in particular that if you've never tried out is definitely worth your time is Super Adventure Island 2, taking a more action-adventure style than the kind of linear platforming of some of the earlier Adventure Island games. This game still stands up as a fantastic SNES experience. I debated a little bit putting this one on the list, but Super Mario Sunshine is still an absolute blast to play now, as it was back on the GameCube. Sure, it was different from Mario 64, and the whole gimmick of getting rid of pollution may not be everyone's cup of tea, but this game looked gorgeous on the GameCube and perfectly represented a great summer Mario experience that I still love playing today. I spent countless summers playing through the Legend of Zelda series, 100%ing games and replaying them to the point of complete memorization. Wind Waker, of course, exemplifies the whole vacation motif and is one of the most beautiful of the Zelda games. Sure, the cell shading at the time was a bit controversial. Playing Wind Waker HD now on the Nintendo Wii U, the game looks better than ever and is definitely one of my favorite ocean or water-based games that has ever come out. One of my absolute favorite games of all time, and no surprise that it makes this list, Startropics. The game is still extremely fun to play as Mike Jones using your yo-yo to sling it at snakes, rats, and other monsters, traveling from island to island, getting swallowed by a giant whale, battling aliens, and saving your uncle. No matter if you play it in the summer or the winter, Startropics is one of the best NES games you can ever experience. A little bit bit controversial for this list and may not be seen by everyone as a vacation game, but Super Mario World. It takes place on a series of various islands that Mario gets to travel to. It's one of the highlights of the Super Nintendo and is one of the best platformers of all time. A game that I've probably beaten more than almost any other game in my entire life, and I still love going back and getting all the 96 gates over and over again even today. Before we get to number 1, some honorable mentions. While I may not be the biggest fan of Dead Island, its whole tropical zombie setting was definitely an interesting one that pulled me in with this amazing trailer, and actually one of the reasons I don't trust trailers today. May not be a vacation spot you necessarily would want to travel to, or heck, maybe you want to. Maybe your dream vacation is taking a baseball bat and bashing in some zombie brains. Heck, everyone has their preference, but even if I don't like Dead Island all that much, it's still a summer-based vacation-style game. Beach volleyball, one of the most popular summer sports, and I didn't want to bombard this list with too many volleyball games, but I figured I'd mention Klonoa Volleyball. Yes, it was only released in Europe and Japan, but the fun platforming mascot of Namco, Klonoa, actually had a volleyball game. And in fact, if you're able to get a hold of it, it's actually pretty fun and still enjoyable to play. My number 1 choice is a game that I know is not for everyone, but when I think vacation, first and foremost, I think about forgetting your problems, relaxing, and just letting your mind kind of forget everything that you have to worry about every single day. And a game that exemplifies that for me is Endless Ocean for the Nintendo Wii. When I played it for the first time, I was completely able to kind of immerse myself in the scuba diving and the marine life, listening to one of my favorite video game soundtracks, the licensed music of Haley Westenra, that haunting voice of the song Prayer that plays near the beginning. Just forgot everything else that was around me and just fully enjoy the experience that I was having. Endless Ocean's not really a game that a lot of people are going to enjoy. It had a sequel, but the original Endless Ocean will always be one of the most relaxing games and one I still go back to when I kind of just want to forget about things. So there you have it, my 10 favorite vacation, tropical, or beach-themed games. Yeah, it's a mismatch of a whole kind of genres and various systems, but games that remind me of the summer. Hey, we work way too hard all year round, and there's so much bad going on in the world. Do yourself a favor and just spend a few hours and just play your favorite game, whatever it may be, and just forget about the world for a little bit. Trust me, your brain and your body will thank you for it. But anyway, guys, that'll wrap up this countdown. Be sure to comment and thumbs up and all that good stuff if you enjoyed it. Anyway, I hope you've had a great summer, or if you can get away at any point, enjoy yourself. You definitely deserve it. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed. Cheers.